Hey, what's going on YouTube? Gary here, gzduel, here to bring you guys a full match between my Madolches, or Madolche, and my opponent who's playing some Gem Knights. And this is game one, and I opened up, I wouldn't say broken, but it's workable, you know, it's manageable. I just have to like get my psychic engine started. And my opponent normal summons Gem Armadillo. Gem Armadillo allows him to search a Gem Knight monster from their deck to the graveyard. Sorry, to the hand. So it's kind of like their Stratos. Okay? And he's going to search Gem Knight Obsidian. Okay? And Gem Knight Armadillo, I guess, is going to just attack and destroy my Serene Psychic Witch. And my Serene Psychic Witch is going to activate. When it gets destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, I'm going to banish one other Serene Psychic Witch so that I can special summon it in the next standby phase. Alright, I drew into Mystical Space Typhoon. Okay, cool. He doesn't play that much back row. Oh, and he chains Maxi to my Serene Psychic Witch, so that gives me a sign not to go off this turn, so I'm just going to use normal summon Madolche and try to get my pieces. But unfortunately, my opponent has Valor. And I was thinking, yeah, you know what? No, that's fine. You know, my hand is still workable. If I normal summon the Mew and then I special summon the Messenger Lotto, I can still, you know, make this work. Yeah, you know, I'll just end my turn. I baited out a Valor and a Maxi. I should be good. I should be good right now. And you guys will see what happens later on. I got really unlucky this game, but I still somehow managed to pull through. But it's going to be a surprise what happens. So he's going to use the battle phase and use his Armadillo to attack my Madolche, and my Madolche is just going to get shuffled back into the deck. Alright, and it's my turn. I draw into a ticket, which is actually really good. This ticket was actually vital in this game, so I'm going to normal summon the ticket and see if he has a response. He doesn't have a response, I don't think. I don't remember him having a response. Okay, and I'm going to normal summon Mew. And I will try to use Mew's effect. Unfortunately, my opponent used Valor again. So he used already a Maxi and 2 Valors. So I was like, you know, okay, that's fine. I have a ticket, so if he destroys my Mew, Mew's going to get shuffled into the deck, and I can just search back Mew with ticket, and I'll just try to do the same thing next turn. And I don't think he has Valor or Maxi, and if he does, I'll be pretty sad. Alright, and my opponent, he's just, you know, he has the sizable hand advantage. He's just going to go into a fusion. He's going to Gem Knight fusion with the Armadillo and Obsidian, I believe, in order to special summon, I think I forgot the name, but it's the 2900 attack beater, which is, oh yeah, this one, Zirconia. Zirconia doesn't have an effect, but yeah, it's pretty big. And he banishes the Obsidian in order to get back his Gem Knight fusion, and he's just going to attack my Mew and do for like 2400 damage to my life points. So Mew is going to go back to my deck, Madolche Ticket's going to trigger, and I'm going to search back the Mew. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And yeah, good thing about the psychic part is if he tries to destroy my Serene Psychic Witch will just, you know, happen again. It's just going to special summon another Serene Psychic Witch. Alright, so I'm going to try this again with Mew, and he has another Valor. So guys, that's 3 Valors and 1 Maxi. And at this point I was just like, you have Valor again? Alright, you know what? That's not going to do anything to me. I'm just going to set a Mystical Space Typhoon, try to bluff him this time, and see what happens. And it's a good thing that I set my Mystical Space Typhoon when I did, because my opponent apparently drew into Lila. And if I didn't set that, he would have just attacked with Lila and his Zirconia and would have destroyed my field, and he would have destroyed my Madolche Ticket, and my Madolche Ticket wouldn't allow me to search back the Mew, which I desperately need. So it's a good thing that I set the Mystical Space Typhoon to bluff him so that he doesn't hit the right card. Now, Madolche Ticket is going to activate, and I'm going to search back the Mew again. I think he ran through 3 Valors and a Maxi, so there's a good chance that he's not going to come back from that. Okay, and he's going to use the Lila effect to mill 3 at the end phase, and I drew into Solemn. So I'm going to normal summon the Mew and use the Mew's effect to try to go off into my combo. And I'm going to special summon the Messenger Lotto, and I use Messenger Lotto's effect in order to search my deck for a Madolche Chateau. Okay, awesome. And so far, I don't have any Madolche monsters in the grave, so I don't feel bad when I play the Chateau. And then I'm going to go for the Invoker. with the Mew and the Serene Psychic Witch. And I'll use Invoker's effect, detaching the Mew in order to special summon a Messengelato, the last one from my deck. Okay, and I'm going to go for the Queen Tiramisu. And you guys might have noticed I don't have Hoot Cake, but I will very soon, because when I use Madolche, when I use a detached Madolche Messengelato and try to return those 2 cards on his field, I can get back the Mew and the Messengelato into my hand, return those 2 cards, and use Ticket's effect in order to search out the Madolche Hoot Cake. And I can use Madolche Hoot Cake's effect because I do have a Serene Psychic Witch in the graveyard. So I'm going to banish that in order to special summon a Croissant in attack mode. So right now it's 8,300 damage, like in my combo video, and let's see what happens. So I'm going to first attack with Invoker, and after he takes the damage, you see he waits a little bit, so there's a response time. So I'm thinking he either has Gores or he has Tragodia, but since he didn't drop Gores, there's a good chance that he has Tragodia. So I'm going to incrementally attack him, just in case he drops Gores on my Tiramisu. I'm going to use Tiramisu last. Unfortunately, he used Tragodia, and yeah, I just had to attack over it, and I couldn't OTK him this turn, but that's fine because, as you guys know, my Croissant can just bounce back the Hoot Cake, and then I would have the enough to set up for next turn. But I set 2 cards face down. I set the Warning because I don't want to deal with some sort of problematic monster that he might summon, and I set the Mystical Space Typhoon, knowing that, you know, he might have something that's like spell or trap removal. I just don't want him to use the blind MST and somehow getting lucky and hitting my Solemn Warning. And yeah, we'll see what happens. He's going to use Volcanic Shell effect in the grave, which he milled with Lila. And he's going to add him, which is a Fire Pyro monster. So it allows him to fusion summon Gemini Fusion with the... Yep, so he's going to use Gemini Fusion, and I think I'm going to chain Maxi. I know that like Gemini Fusions, their attack is not that high. There's like one where it's like 2,200. Yep, that one. The Gemini Citrine. And there's one with like 2,450, but... it's not going to do that much since I have Queen Tiramisu. I'm basically going to Warning when he summons something larger, when he summons something that is actually a threat. Okay, so he's going to get back the Gemini Fusion by removing Lazuli, I think that's her name. And then he's going to go for another Gemini Fusion. Now, I didn't Warning right now because, you know, I just wanted to draw more cards. And I didn't feel like his Citrine was that much of a threat. So I didn't Warning. And he decided to fusion with Citrine, and he got Prismora. And Gemini Prismora's effect, he can discard 1 Gemini Fusion or destroy 1 card on the field. And I was like, yeah, you know, that's not bad. I could let that go. You destroy 1 card, I drew a card from Max C, so it's really not that bad. So he's going to destroy my Queen Tiramisu, which is fine because, you know, I have 2 waves of combos with Madolches. And the cool thing about Madolches is because they return to the deck, or you can choose it when they go to the graveyard, when they destroy, they go to the deck, your combos are always live. Unlike the Shark Magician combo, you know, you might like run out of sharks in the late game, or you might run out of the single magician that you have. But not for this one, because all of your monsters, all of your Madolche monsters go back into the deck once they get destroyed by card effect or by battle. And you're basically in a position to keep using cycle after cycle after cycle. And that's what I call longevity in this deck. Okay, so it's my turn. I'm going to use Mew and go for the second wave. And I'm going to use Mew's effect, of course, to special summon the Hoot Cake. And I'm going to activate Hoot Cake's effect, banishing the Messengelato in order to search my deck for a Mageline, which I'll special summon. And then I'm going to go for the Levier with the Hoot Cake and the Mew in order to try to detach, of course, and try to get back the Messengelato that I banished. So I'm going to get Messengelato, and I'm going to special summon it in attack position. And I'm going to go for the Madolche Queen Tiramisu because I do have Mew in the graveyard, and I can, of course, use Tiramisu's effect in order to detach the Messengelato, in order to return the Messengelato and the Queen, so that I don't have to run 3 Queens, because I can always detach 1 to get it back into the extra deck. That's why I don't run 3 Queens, guys. And I can banish, I can basically return his monster and use the Tickets effect and keep going off, but he surrendered. Alright, cool. Game 2, unfortunately, I didn't show you guys how I sided, but I didn't side anything. Basically, I just felt like a Geminites is not going to be that tough a matchup, and there's nothing in my extra deck that really hurts them that I must side in. So yeah, basically didn't side in anything, and I didn't even side out the MSTs, which I should have probably. But I was afraid that he might side in protective traps, and in that case, you know, it might be a problem. So he's going to go for a turn 1 Gemnite Fusion. I think he's made a bit of a misplay by overextending a lot in the first turn. You see, he fused with like 3 Gemnites in order to try to get Gemnite Master Diamond. And like Gemnite Master Diamond isn't that invincible. It's like it gains 100 attack for each Gemnite monster in his grave. And once per turn, he can choose one level 7 or lower Gemnite monster in the graveyard and get his effect, I think. So it's really not that important, and he's gonna commit to the board so hard, and I just didn't think it was a good opening move. If I had a dark hole, it would have been GG right there, but I didn't have a dark hole. And yeah, he's gonna go for Maze Stroke, which is like basically nothing to me, because if you have Queen Tiramisu, you can just return them to the extra deck. Even if your Maze Stroke seems like a good idea, it's not going to be a good idea. Yeah. But unfortunately, I didn't draw into any hand traps. If I had like drew into any hand traps, if I had sided in Swift Scarecrow, this would have been so perfect. But since I didn't, I'm just going to activate the ticket, and hopefully I draw a hand trap. And he's going to chain Maxi, which I don't think is a good idea. He should chain Maxi when I use Mew and I use Mew's effect, but he chained Maxi, so he went -1. Don't do that, guys. Don't chain Maxi in the standby phase unless you really don't want him to do anything this turn. But when your opponent activates the effect that would special summon, that's when you chain Maxi, and that's when you'll get the best out of it. At least you'll get 1 card back from the draw, and if not, you'll just minus yourself if you just activate it prematurely. Yeah, so he's going to use Gemnite Pearl, sorry, not Gemnite Pearl, Gemnite Fusion in order to try to go for a lot of monsters on the board and try to OTK me. At this point, I was actually kind of afraid. I was thinking like, okay, if I die this turn, definitely I'm going to side out Mystical Space Typhoon, and I'm going to side in Swift Scarecrow, because if my Mystical Space Typhoon was a Swift Scarecrow, that would have been GG. I would have let him destroy all my monsters. I would have used Swift Scarecrow. Swift Scarecrow would have ended in the graveyard, ended the battle phase, and when it's my turn, I would have gone for the Mew, Madolche, Hoot Cake, and just like return all of his stuff. So yeah, so my Corruption got destroyed, which is okay, and I searched for a Mew. I'm going to take some damage at this point. I'm going to take 3,100, which is pretty devastating. And good thing about his deck is he doesn't play any back row, so it's not that bad. And I drew into Emergency Teleport, and I was like, yes, okay, cool. Now I can actually do something. So I'm going to use Mew's effect. Now if he had Chain Maxi, it would have been actually pretty good, but he wasted his Maxi prematurely, so that's unfortunate for him. And I'm going to use Emergency Teleport in order to try to get the Serene Psychic Witch from my deck. And I will overlay the Serene Psychic Witch and the Mew in order to get Invoker. And of course, I use Invoker's effect. You guys already know. I'm going to detach the Mew. This is a bit of a different combo. Of course, I'm going to detach the Mew, but like I will have to banish the Mew, so that's why I was a little bit hesitant. So yeah, I'm going to use Madolche Messenger Lotto, and I will get Madolche Chateau. It's a bit of a different combo because once you use Hoot Cake's effect in order to banish the Mew, you won't have a Madolche monster in your graveyard, and you won't be able to go for Queen Tiramisu, or unless, because you do have 2 chateaus, you can just play 1 chateau, overlay the chateau on top of the chateau in order to get a Madolche card in the graveyard. And that's how I pulled through out of it. This is like a little combo that I had to use because of desperation. But you know, other than that, it's still pretty dependable. Okay, and I'm going to use Queen Tiramisu's effect in order to detach and return those 2 cards into the deck. No. Just return them to the deck, Gary. And I'm going to return the Zirconia and the Master Diamond because they have pretty high attack points. And I will use Ticket's effect in order to bring out, of course, the Croissant that I return. And yeah, I'm going to basically... yeah, my opponent thought it was a pretty good play. And I don't have anything in the extra deck that would get over Maze Stroke this turn, and I don't really want to do an Acid Golem. And so basically what I decided to do was I just, use Croissant's effect in order to bounce back the hoot cake in order to, so that I could go off next turn if I needed to. And I'm just going to attack with the Queen Tiramisu, attack the Maestroke, and let him detach something, and that's it. He only has 2 cards in his hand, one of which is a Gem Knight Fusion, so I'm not too worried because he did overextend first turn, so I'm not too scared about that. And Madolche Queen Tiramisu can go off next turn too, because I returned I basically returned the Messenger Lotto so that if my Invoker doesn't die, which is very unlikely, I can use Invoker's effect, detach the Psychic, and I can special summon out the Messenger Lotto, and I can use Messenger Lotto, search for the Chateau that I also returned, and my Madolche Queen Tiramisu can go off again. But unfortunately, he decided to Book of Moon my Invoker, which is, I don't understand. He should have just attacked it, would have done more damage. And he didn't do that, so he's just going to attack over the Invoker in defense position. I don't understand, really. But yeah, that helped me get some monsters in the grave, so I can use Hoot Cake's effect, which is, pretty good. And I drew into Threatening Roar. Nice. Looking at my graveyard, I do have a Chateau, which he helped me destroy, so I'm going to use Tiramisu's effect, detach the, return those 2, and I'm going to return them into the deck, and return those 2 monsters on my opponent's side of the field into the deck as well. My ticket is going to activate in order for me to search out the Hoot Cake, and so I don't have to use the Hoot Cake in my hand. I'll just use the Hoot Cake that I searched out, and I'm going to banish the Serene Psychic Witch in order to try to get another Messenger Lotto, search back the Chateau, and win the game. So I get the Chateau. And I'm not going to do any exceeding right now, because if I just play the Chateau, I'll do a lot of damage to my opponent. And I'm just looking at my field right now. It's probably enough damage, so I'm going to attack with Croissant first. See if he has a response. He doesn't have a response. See if he has Gores. Nope, no Gores. Then I'm going to go Messenger Lotto. This way, if I attack first, he drops Gores, I can use Queen Tiramisu, because I do have a level 4 Croissant and a level 4 Messenger Lotto, and I'll just return the Gores and the token back into the deck. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. This is Gary, gzduel, signing out.